A career in the health sciences or professions is definitely a challenge. For First Nations people, that challenge is even more significant, but the challenge can be very rewarding, and there is help. The Health Careers Programs of the Confederacy of Treaty 6 First Nations and the Treaty 7 Management Corporation is designed to encourage and support First Nation students. Alberta Chief Charlie Weaselhead of the Blood Tribe has been involved in health for about 25 years.
Right now, health is probably the most promising career, and there's so many specialized areas in health right now, you know. I think when we talk about health, we sort of have a conception in our mind, you know, that talking about health means I have to be a nurse or I have to be a doctor, but it doesn't stop there. There's so many different opportunities, you know. First Nation communities are getting into the higher level of health requirements, you know, so we need podiatrists, we need dentists, we need lab x-ray technicians, you know, ambulance paramedics, you know, all kinds of fields, you know, that we, so I want to extend that challenge and that opportunity to our young people to take a serious look at a career in health.
We have a few programs that encompasses the health careers. The overall mandate is to be able to encourage secondary students in pursuing health careers.
Whatever I can provide, and also talk about values, talk about who we are, what we are, and where we would like to go, how we like to go back to that level of balance where our mind, spirit, body, and motion is balanced. How can we do that? Like the sciences of Indian thought, the sciences of academics, all these things, and tell our young people we have to, it's, nobody can do it for us better than we can do it for ourselves.
What inspired me to become a nurse, I think, was my grandparents. They did some medicine, they helped others, they made a medicine brew, and my grandma was an extremely strong woman. She never gave up, even to her last days. Finding a balance between traditional and Western medicine is something I've looked into, and I can see the importance of it. And I think that by balancing the two, it will be stronger for Aboriginal people to access the health programs. I'm determined to help my people, and I'm determined to be there for my children and be a role model for my children and for others around me.
Almost like what you did today. Okay.
I really wanted to be a pediatrician because I was influenced by my mom, who's a nurse, and I liked what she did with people. And just with children, I really think, there's something there. I've always loved children, and for some reason they've always really been drawn to me. I barely made it through grade 12. I stopped going halfway through. I had to come back to college and upgrade. And it's a struggle, but I guess you get what you put in. If you really, really want something and you work hard for it, then it's going to show. There's a lot of people out there that tell you that you can't make it, and just maybe try to ignore that and maybe defy what they say to push past that and not let them influence how you feel about that.
The first time I decided I wanted to go into medicine was in my first year of high school. I was in my biology class, and we were watching a video on heart surgery, and I was like, wow, that's fascinating. All the blood and the cutting up and the fixing and everything like that. It just was so fascinating to me, and I was like, wow, I want to do that. I totally can do that. When I become a doctor, I'd love to incorporate that traditional holistic medicine side. I think connecting to people in that way too, it only expands what you're doing. I don't know how I got here. Everyone around me, my family, my friends, seeing my sisters, being inspired by them, and my parents, I think that they're all my role models, my whole family, just because they're doing what they love, and they've encouraged me to do what makes me happy. I get the best of both worlds. Being First Nations here at U of C, it's great. I have the Native Center to come to. But you know, growing up, there was always those challenges of being discriminated against. You know, that's never fun. And but I think it's only made me a stronger person.
I've got a degree in psychology, and I chose nutrition as a field because I'm interested in seeing how it can help people. It's a 4-year degree program at an accredited university, and then you have to do roughly a 10-month internship with dietitians who are working out in different areas, community, clinical, and just learning through them what it means to be a dietitian in those areas. And you have to get that work experience before you can become an actual accredited dietitian.
I fell in love with people, and I fell in love with procedures and the physiology of medicine, meaning how things work in the human body. And then when I got into medical school, I explored the things I was interested in, and I got, I guess you could say, disenfranchised with a lot of things that I liked because I had surgery or had medicine. I didn't have a good combination of both. And then when I did my obstetrics and gynecology rotation in my 3rd year clerkship, meaning where I get to approach each of the specialties, it had everything. It had medicine, it had good patient care, it had procedures, and it had the complete deal. And even though I had no idea ever any desire to become an obstetrician gynecologist, it found me, and I really enjoy it. I think it's such a great idea to have a role model. If you can't get it from home, is to have it from somewhere. But I had my great-grandfather. Like I talk about him a lot, and he definitely, you know, encouraged me to keep going for whatever I wanted to do. But basically, I had people who believed in me. And there was a point in time when I was in high school, when my grades were sort of falling, and my parents were living away from me, actually. So I was essentially living on my own, and you have to find something in you to believe in yourself if someone wasn't there. I didn't have any role models to say, this Aboriginal can go into medical school.
Danse James Makokis Nitsigasun, Utinia Unikskaponik. Hello, my name is James Makokis, and I'm from the Satellite Cree First Nation. As far as I can remember, I've always wanted to be a doctor. I've always wanted to study medicine since about grade 1 or even kindergarten, something like that. And I think it's the ability to, or the involvement of helping someone to attain health. So I thought that looking in our communities in terms of what we needed, we created a walking marathon, or half marathon group for the training for the Vancouver Half Marathon. We have a group of about 25 committed people who come out 3 times a week as a group, and we train, we hill train, we do endurance training, and basically we're out there having fun, and doing so preventing the development of type 2 diabetes and other diseases like that, and also for people who already have those conditions, preventing the development of complications for those types of diseases.
He's got some of our community members active, out walking and running.
It's really inspiring. This is the first time that we've done it. And to have that kind of response, our participants range in age from 11 to 69. So we have children to an elder, or a few elders that are in there, and they love it. And they love being outside, the group support, and being active and taking care of themselves.
The Treaty 6 and Treaty 7 Health Careers initiatives include promotions, student employment, science camps, nursing incentives, and scholarships and bursaries. They also work to explore and establish bridging programs between First Nations communities and academic institutions, such as the University of Alberta's Aboriginal Support Program and the University of Calgary Faculty of Medicine, which is actively planning to recruit and train First Nations doctors.
We're ready to help any Aboriginal applicants about how to be very successful when it's time to submit their application. I think it is important for us to describe more clearly to any applicants what we're expecting from them when it's time to submit their application file. We want to recruit excellent people, but excellent doesn't mean just to have marks at 100%. Excellent people means I'm a good communicator, I know I want to be a doctor, I think I have all the skills to be a good doctor, I am sensitive to the needs of my community, I want to give something in return, and I want to make an impact eventually. And if you think you have all these attributes, I would say, you know what? Just submit your application and believe in your dream. And we will do anything we can to help you make the best application that you could do.
We have 37 graduates and we'll have 4 more this year. And we have 22 medical students across the 4 years of medicine. And this year we have 14 applicants. I feel like I'm facilitating their natural abilities to come out and express themselves. It's a question of if you have somebody you can come and talk to and express your concerns and your fears and say, well, do you think I can make it? And that person says, yes, you can. Other people have done it, and these are the problems. Often I discuss with students when they come in and they say, oh, this is terrible, terrible. This has never happened to anybody else. This is the worst thing, and I'm a failure. And I say, well, actually, this is not very uncommon. What you have to do is figure out each little step before you give up or take the big steps.
It's tempting for us, especially when we're younger, to want to avoid hard things. But keep in mind that where we are as a people only comes because those who've gone before us, our elders and our ancestors, went through difficult times. And in order for us to progress, we need other generations, ourselves and our children, to be willing to go through difficult times as well. Now, hopefully no one's going to steal them away and take them to a boarding school. And no one's going to systematically abuse them or tell them they're less than other Canadians. We don't let that happen to us anymore. We stay focused, we endure these things, and life will get better, not only for ourselves, but for our people.
There's so many opportunities in nursing, so many ways to help others, and it's really rewarding, and I encourage others to meet the challenge.
As soon as you hit mainstream, you're kind of alone, so it's good to know other people in the mainstream too, and just to be prepared for that, being on your own, and that no one's going to look out for you.
Talk to people, talk to elders, talk to your counselors, talk to your family, talk to your peers, and use all the resources that you possibly can. There's so many resources out there, and so many people want to see you do well, and just do what makes you happy.
You have no idea, to be able to go into the operating room and have someone trust you to use a knife and to open them and then to close them and to have their baby come out alive and healthy and to have the mom alive and healthy. It's an amazing feeling.
And you've got to be willing to work hard and stick to it, because it is a challenging program, and my peers are very competitive and they work hard, and I've got to learn to keep up with that, and I think you've got to be prepared to meet those challenges.
I'd like to echo the words of our elders, basically in our own tongue. Our elders would tell us, "Ika kimat." And basically what they're telling us is try to live your life to the best of your ability.